Alright guys, today we're heading to my dad's house to go work on the Pro FD build. We're going to be working on the chassis that Matt Sixberry gave to me. We got the chassis up on a stand and we're ready to get cutting on it. As far as I can tell, the best way for cutting the quarter panels is if you get a piece of masking tape and line it up with the gas cap hole and then just run it up there. So if you want to get a nice curve on your fender wells, you just take a tape measure, and it's about 4 inches. You just take your scribe and make a cut line. And that should do it. Might not be the same for every car, but this should work for over fenders and a fiberglass rear end. I guess you can see it's just about to the corner of that. I'm going to cut on this line behind the antenna. And it runs about 11.5 inches. It's going to run down to here. And then I just line it up with about 4 1/4 to the top of that line. And then you just line your tape up there and it'll intersect right here. And then you just cut it flush with the edge of your fender because you're going to want more clearance for when bigger tires can sit lower in the chassis.
This is Sparta!
Alright guys, we got the whole back cut off, and now we're going to get started on the front. You guys pretty much know how to cut the whole front off if you're watching this video. It's pretty simple. You just kind of cut. I like to cut flush with the strut tower. And then just cut as much as you can out down to the frame rail. To be within Formula Drift rules, you can't really cut the frame where the power brace bolts up to. So I probably wouldn't mess with that. I know they make a radiator mount that you can cut this out and weld it in, but I don't know if that would void the FD rules or not. So I think I'm just going to leave it alone for now. Just cut the tubs out and go from there. Got the whole front end cut off. And I'm still not really too sure exactly where I want to cut. So I kind of left a little bit of a lip on the strut towers. But what I kind of want to do is do a plate that's flush with the strut tower and over to the frame, and then do a roll cage bar that comes down and then mounts to the frame. And then I could kind of use this edge right here to tack weld or stitch weld the bar to the strut tower. And then I'm not really too sure if I want to cut this flat with the frame yet, or not. I'll probably take off another like inch and then just stitch weld it together. Now we're working on the back again, and I'm going to show you guys where you can cut and where you can't cut for Formula Drift rules and regulations the best I know how, but always refer back to the rules book just to make sure. I cut the frame right there just to get the back half off, and the line that you can't cut past or modify the chassis is right here. The farthest most back point that the suspension mounts to the chassis. So anything past this line over here you can't do anything to, but anything up here you can. And I'm thinking about cutting it right about here. When you look at some of the Pro FD cars, they're cut about right there, and then they have a bolt-on panel that runs out the back. And bolt-on bash bars are also, you can't do it certain ways. You have to have a certain way that it's bolted on. After, I think it was 2012, they changed the rules because they had people's bash bars just falling off on the track, and they didn't want that, so there's a certain way that you have to bolt it on. But I think if I cut right here, it can still be within the rules. Then I'm going to cut the fender so it's open. Got the back all cut off on this side. Put this tape down, and here's the mounting point, and I just brought it up to the edge of that frame, ran that tape. So this is about 2 inches from where the limit of where you'd want to cut is about right here. And I give myself a little bit of room, so that way I'm not cutting the chassis too short. Otherwise, I would just have to scrap the chassis if I cut it any shorter. But if you look at Adam LZ's car, this is where he cut, where Injuku Racing cut the frame on that car. And then they mounted the fuel cell right here. So I'm not sure if I want to mount the fuel cell right here or have it down lower in the back. It kind of depends on weight distribution. I'm thinking what I want to do is I'm going to take these braces out and drop in a firewall. It runs all the way down here, and it's just going to split the hatch glass. Then I'm just going to do Lexan up here. And the back will just be open with just some hood pins to hold the trunk lid on. I've got to cut this side, run the tape up there. Just make sure you don't cut it too short, otherwise the chassis is no good for Formula Drift. Now the back's all cut off. And I was just looking at this chassis, and the only rust spot is just where the battery was. Nothing too severe. But on my other chassis, like this whole area of the frame is completely open, which is completely rusted. And where the brake caliper, the brake master cylinder is, all that brake fluid will leak, and normally these will be rusted like all the way through. This whole area will just be open. But this car is like in really good condition. There's like no frame rust like whatsoever. Most of these, this is all gone just from rust, but this car seems to be in really good condition. A lot less work that I'm going to have to do on patching all the rust, because this thing's a pretty clean chassis, other than it sat outside for about the last 6 months. It'll make a drift car, hopefully. Made for the fenders. I guess I kind of try to get them as parallel as I can from this one to this one. I just kind of used a piece of angle iron. Kind of hold up there. Get them parallel as I can. It's pretty tough to get them parallel, so you're gonna have like a little bit of a gap that I'm gonna have to fill. Alright guys, I think that's about all I'm gonna get done for today. I guess if you like watching, like, comment, subscribe, tell me what I'm doing, if I'm doing it right, or if I should be doing something different. Thanks for watching.